So this weekly self-assessment is something that is working for ages for me, my team, my associates, and everyone that I'm working and I've been working with. The funny part about it is that this was written originally in English. I have translated it into Hebrew about I don't know how many years ago, and I have not used it for my teams in English-speaking countries. But now I found a good reason to retranslate it again. So the meaning and the aim and the purpose, sorry, the goal of this sheet of paper is when we look at it, is we have to be accountable first and foremost to who? To ourselves. Once we give din vecheshbon to ourselves, okay, we assess ourselves, we know exactly, first of all, where we stand. If we are telling stories or these are actual reasons, like for example, if somebody is sick, it's not a story, it is something that people, when they're sick, they cannot work. But if we want to achieve something and we watch TV instead of picking up the phone and speaking with an extra person, this is an excuse. This is what I want to say. So this is very, very simple. And as we all like to have in our lives, the most beautiful things in life, not only that they are free, but they are also simple. So look at that sheet of paper that we obviously will be able to always improve, and you can take it and align it to your personal needs as you go through life. So look at the first section. Everything that needs to be done here is that it needs to be answered in terms of yes and no. That's all. Have I achieved my weekly goals of earning? And you have to fill up the blanks. If you want to make 400 shekels a week, or you want to make more, but 400 is the absolute minimum. This is I'm using as an example. This also means that you have to have what? You have to have goals. Because if you don't have goals, we are drifting through life. Guys, please don't make noises, because this is something that I would like to use in the future. Thank you very much. If you could keep it as silent as possible. Now, have I reached my weekly goal of new customers of 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you want to align? But that's again has to take you out of your comfort zone. That to take you one step ahead and have goals of your customers, and as a result also as of your earnings. It comes together, okay? And in order to do that, have you approached enough people? And that is also something that is part of your goals. How many people do you want? Do you choose? And what is your goal to approach however many people each week? If you don't know that, you will not do that. And if it is not written, it does not exist. Now, when you approach people, you will also meet your meeting goals. Are you meeting one person a week, one person a day, 5 people a week, or more? The higher your goals are, the higher your meeting goal should be, okay? So PPL means people per day, okay? So that also shows you that you will be able to look at this sheet of paper every day or every week, and you can write here whatever you want on the left-hand side, in between, and also do it to your personal needs. Closing call. Everything is leading and it is interlinked one to the other. In other words, once you have approached people, okay, and you have met people, have you closed 4 times today. In other words, have you reached the position to say, should I order for you the product, or how would you prefer to pay? Closing techniques are very, very simple, but so many people are concerned and even afraid to ask for the money, okay? Have you done a minimum of 4 closing calls yesterday? And a minimum of, and this is also obviously an example, of 22 closing calls this week. All right. Now we go one step. In other words, everything, as I said, is interlinked. And before that, we have to prospect in order to be able to approach people, right? So if I want to prospect, have I prospected 10 new names a day? In other words, have I added to my list 2 people a day, 1 people a day? But you have to revive your list in order to be able to have the dough of which you make the bread from, okay? My spouse just made wonderful bread, so you are invited. Now, when you are making closing calls and people have become your customers, ask for referrals. Existing customers are centers of influence, and it is so very important to be able to ask for referrals. This is a training on its own, and what I want to say is just ask, hey, who do you know that would like to improve his health or his wealth? It's as simple as that. It's not if you want, if you know somebody, it's who do you know? Let's carry on. Have you got sufficient info about this referral? Have you had a minimum of 3 marketing systems? In other words, offline, online, Instagram, Facebook, flyers. And if you remember the tear-ups that I showed you several months ago, that you also put around town, that people may call you. Have you had 3 different systems that you are using? And is it, and this is like an in-between sentence, as is it all a part of your work plan? Okay? Yes or no? I just forgot here the 2 lines, okay? And do you have 3 target markets? That's also another different training. For example, I am now working for more than 3 months, maybe 4 months now. My aim is to recruit people into the business that are deaf and they cannot speak. Why? I did have a group in another company before, and I think that our business is so simple that even a deaf and mute person can do the business. But can you approach lawyers? Can you approach accountants? Can you approach teachers? Can you approach, this is a target market, people that you are targeting, people that, for example, are teachers, just like, for example, you, Charlotte, okay? That are working with little kids. You know their problems, you know that they don't have time, you know that they don't have enough energy, and you know also that in certain cases, in some cases, they don't have enough appreciation, meaning not only appreciation, but also in terms of money. Now, let's get more specifics. The meetings, have I called each and every day at the same time, at the same place? Now, this was very relevant many years ago, but today we also tend to do many things at the same time. And even when we are in the bus, we can make a phone call or approach somebody. But to be able to have an office and to do your calls between 9:30 in the morning, as an example, to 11 o'clock in the morning, this helps productivity a hell of a lot. I hope that this is very clear, because this is also a very important point that will help you crystallize your thinking and where exactly do you stand? Have I prepared in advance the number of names that you have put on as your goals? Have I? Because if not, you will do what's possible and not what I've set for myself. Have you set the minimum meetings every day? In other words, have I met these people that I have set? Now, I would suggest that this will not be any less than one, for example, because there is no less than one, okay? So that's an example. Have I invited a minimum of X people to a group presentation? Now, just ask yourself why and what needs to be done in order to have a group presentation, a minimum a week for new people every week. Now, my presentations, when I present to people, takes between 20 to 30 minutes. And my aim, as I probably mentioned, if you remember before, is that I do it once or two times, and then you people do it, and I listen, and we just give you some sort of points for improvement. That's also something which is very, very important to be able to do. I will even highlight it because this is still not happening at the moment, okay? Have I attended X trainings this week? Now, this doesn't only need to be attended, but you can do it whenever you set to yourself a time. There are so many trainings available online today that you get a training on every subject. If you're talking closing, closing. If you're talking about presenting, presenting. If you're talking about communicating better, which, by the way, will make us better teachers, better spouse, better friends, better business people. Very, very important. The trainings are available. Now, I'm going a bit faster now. The meetings, have I concluded it in 25 minutes? Because I reckon that if you don't conclude it in the first 8 minutes, you already know where this is going. When you meet someone, in the first 2 to 8 minutes, you know where it's going. Have I closed a minimum of 2 times? When somebody says to you, no, not now, I don't, whatever, you retry. And that's again, as I said earlier, it's a subject that we need to attend on closing techniques, because when people oppose or object, it's not the real objection. They have other objection, and we need to be able to find exactly what's happening there. Have I spent X hours on follow-up? What is more important than follow-up? I love saying that the money is in the follow-up. It's much easier to close someone that you have already made contact with than bringing somebody new. So please understand that follow-up is not negotiable. It has to happen. By the way, in our business, the follow-up happens many years over. I have customers of 6.5 years. When I'm in the car, it's a wonderful opportunity to keep in touch with them rather than listening to the news and the rubbish that we have in the media. Have I asked all of them for referrals? Very, very, very important, okay? Very important. Please take that into consideration. And here is something that I think I haven't seen anywhere else, and I'm very proud to bring it up, because when I talk about attitude, I'm always saying that attitude and positive and healthy attitude is even more important than the air that we breathe. Because if our attitude sucks, what's the point of breathing? What's the point of existing? We want to live. Now, what living means to you, okay? I see that my... Okay, so have I used my work plan every day? Have I worked on one basic skill this week? There are many skills, like 5 basic skills that we have to improve on an ongoing basis. Have I taught minimum once a week. In other words, teaching other people. Maybe this doesn't happen at the very beginning, okay? But has to happen sometime soon, okay? So time management. Have I used my weekly plan? Have I used my yearly plan? Do I know the value of every hour? When I'm making 100 shekels a day and I have spent an hour, my hour is worth 100 shekels. Now, when we bring other people in, we have to understand and to know that we increase our value, okay? Because we duplicate ourselves. Can you still hear me okay? Because I have a problem with my, you hear me okay? Yes? Okay. Now, the assessment of my attitude, which is also very important, my enthusiasm at work. Sorry? My enthusiasm this week, I want you please, I would like to suggest that you write 5 as low and 10 as high. Now, we are all humans and sometimes we will have a bad week. But sometimes it will be because we have heard a new testimonial, it will be 11. This is what happened to me many times, okay? Now, I can give you examples, so many examples, which is amazing.
It happened to me yesterday.
I hope that this is better. All right. My enthusiasm, my honesty, my confidence, my appearance, and have I been a pleasant person when I've spoken with people? Is it a 7 or is it a, how can I assess myself better? How honest am I with myself? Do I need someone to reflect on my appearance and the fact that I am pleasant and or confident when I'm approaching people? Do you practice on each other? I mean, do you pick up the phone sometimes, even when you have 5 minutes, and you just say to Lydia, hey, Lydia, I'm going to practice on you. I haven't seen you for quite a while. I've been exposed to a new company. When do you have 15 minutes to meet with me online, on the phone, or in person? Okay? How much of initiative have I shown this week? Did I show initiative? Did I do stuff that surprised me when I was initiating new moves in my business? How persistent was I this week? And give yourself here a mark. Because when you are honest with yourself and you are a 5, you know if you deserve to have and earn the kind of money and lifestyle that you wish. Okay? So please be honest with yourself. And the last one that I have written is how much action or actionable have I been for the last week? And if I'm looking today, Wednesday, how much action did I take today? Now we are here towards the end of the day. I am taking part now in a training. Okay, did I approach 1 person today? Did I approach 4 people today? Now, when we do that persistently, in other words, over a period of time, I know that I deserve that. And this feeds itself. In other words, it brings over and over again all the time, and it increases my confidence. And this is it. Now, my last question is, who cannot answer this on daily basis, each and every day, okay, and be honest with himself or herself if we are doing it or are not doing it? So that's my story. Okay, so that's my story. Is this important, guys, or is it important?
Of course, it's very important. It's very important, and we have to try to really do it or make effort. This one, I remember one video that you said. He said he hates when people say that I will try.
Yes, I will try doesn't lead you to anything.
Of course, yeah, I remember the video. He said, never
Just
say I
as a
will
matter of
try.
interest, I think I saw that many, many years ago. I took on a workshop, and the person, the leading, the trainer, asked someone to stand up. Okay, so the person stood up, and then he asked him to sit down, and then he asked him to try to sit up, to stand up, and our mind doesn't comprehend trying. It doesn't understand what does it mean trying.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm putting this, to be honest with you, because I also want, as your partner, to be much more efficient when I'm working with you, because we are talking at this time every now and again, okay, once a week more, but this assessment that you have now will be with you 24/7. Look at it. You can have it on your phone. You can have it anywhere. You can do whatever needs to be done. And when you are coming to tell yourself stories, look at it. Look at it. What is my worth? Because no one will come to your living room to motivate you. No one will come to my living room to motivate me. So we have to really be able to take a decision and stand by it, persist with it, and take action. Because we as grown-ups, we don't know any other or any better way.
Yeah, right.